Hello there, listeners and viewers. It's Sylvia here from Fernwood, Liverpool, Bankstown and Seven Hills. And thank you for tuning in on this Q&A. Today I have a super mum, a high-powered businesswoman, career-driven woman and a group fitness instructor. So please make welcome Jasmin King.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jasmin. Thank you so much for tuning in with us.
Welcome.
What struck me with you, and I think you're simply amazing. Now, you're a mum of 5, not 1 or 2 kids, 5. And I believe your oldest is what, 13?
Yep, so Zach's 13 and he's in year 8.
Yep.
Bronte is 12 and she's in year 7. Layla is 11 and she's in year 6. And Liam is 8 and he's in year 3. And then there's little Zoe who just turned 3 and she's just causing trouble.
So if you can just share with viewers and listeners at home your tips on basically how are you getting through lockdown with homeschooling? I think this is the big question that, I often hear through our members that, maybe have 1 or 2 children that are going through homeschooling, especially if they're in primary school. They've got some, adaptive and struggling issues. What can you say to that?
Look, I'm definitely with them. It has been extremely hard and with no end in sight. It does cause anxiety. I listen to the 11 o'clock announcement like everyone, and every time I see those numbers go up, I get a little pang thinking, this is never ending. I have come into it this time, though, with a different attitude. The first lockdown was really tough. No one knew what to expect. So at least this time, there's a level of understanding on what is expected in terms of homeschooling. So I'm definitely not as stressed this time. I'm not putting as much pressure on myself because I'm not a teacher, and hats off to all school teachers out there, but I'm not one of them. And I'm not putting as much pressure on the kids. So I just think routine is the key here, like we get up the same time as what we would if we were going to school. We get dressed. I make sure their beds are made. The older kids walk the dogs. So they're not just rolling out of bed and rolling onto the computer. I'm keeping the same routines. Because it was quite interesting. One of the mums that I was in connection with, they're like, when all this is over and we go back to work, it's going to be so hard to get out of the door. And I thought, you know what, that's actually valid, because if we're not keeping our normal morning routines, when this is over, how am I going to get them up, get them to the bus, get myself ready, get, the house sorted, get myself to work in time? So I've made an effort to keep those normal morning routines still working, still up and running. So, get up, make the beds, have breakfast, walk the dog, myself, I still do a load of washing. I still vacuum the house in the morning like I would before I leave, just to make sure the house is set and clean. And then before that school bell rings, everyone has their own workstations and they go to those stations and then homeschooling begins.
Well, that's fantastic, Jasmin. So the key message there is keep it consistent. Keep what you were doing before lockdown. And can I also ask, in this lockdown phase, what are you doing to keep yourself fit during homeschooling and the lockdown?
Yeah. Look, I've struggled. I've had many conversations with you, Sylvia, about that. This time round, it has really been hard. I was on my own fitness journey during the Fernwood Challenge and I ended up losing, 11 kilos, which is fantastic. And this lockdown has taken its toll on me in terms of motivation and everything else. So what I'm starting to do now is starting to, pick the pieces back up, basically. I can't do an hour. I can't do a half an hour where the kids are homeschooling. We're in all different grades, everything else. And I just can't allot that time without someone calling me out. So what I have started to do is the school curriculum is structured. So the big push at the moment is brain breaks. So they're having little brain breaks. So I'll break my half an hour up into 3 lots of 10 minutes. So when the kids are on a brain break, I push myself to do 10 minutes with them. So even the brain breaks for school are structured. They do a little dance sometimes, or they'll do, push-ups, star jumps, those kinds of things. So I'm doing the brain breaks with the kids. So not only are they doing it, I'm moving as well. And that will end up closing my move ring of 30 minutes, but I'm just structuring it in 3 lots of 10 minutes.
That's fabulous. And have you got any final tips for all the mums out there in lockdown with school children?
Yeah, I just think let's be kind to yourself. I think we as mums put so much pressure on ourselves. to have to get it right, to make sure the kids aren't slipping, to make sure things are still moving. I really just believe this time there's going to be days that, pick up the phone and call someone. I think that's really essential if you are struggling a little bit, and pay it forward on days, that you are feeling good. Maybe reach out to someone who is struggling, and just, I've been trying to do that, just calling people, just random checking in, all those kinds of things. And I've really appreciated it when people have done that to me, knowing that we're all, there was a saying that I read on Facebook that I love, that we are all in the same storm, but everybody is in different boats. And that's really, really true. We are all facing the same things, but not everyone is in the same situation. So there are very many different stresses. So I think just be kind to yourself. Try not to, stress out. At the end of the day, we will get through it. I do believe that we all will get through it. And in terms of schooling, they're not really going to slip, just little lessons going forward for the kids is all we can do, I think, especially, as I said, I'm not a teacher. I don't profess to be one. And we're all struggling a little bit with that. So,
well, thank you yeah. Well, again, thank you for sharing this. And I do hope this resonates with all the mums out there. So, and we're always here to help. Reach out to our Facebook pages, because like Jasmin, again, I love that saying, we're all in the same storm, but on a different boat. So again, thank you for your valuable time, Jasmin. I know you've got a break now. Is this one of your brain storming?
Yeah, this is one of the brain breaks. Yeah, I can hear them downstairs running around. So
all right. Well, we'll let you go and get back to it. And again, thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for our next Q&A. Bye for now.
Bye.